Here's my problem. And again, I'm not questioning the talent of Matthew Stafford. From a talent perspective, he deserves the money. Like Riddick said, on the open market, he'd have got the money. I don't have a problem with it from that perspective. I have a problem with the fact that the man has been a quarterback in the National Football League for 8 years. He's made the playoffs 3 times. He's only had a winning record and a winning season 3 times. And this organization has not won a playoff game since 1991. There is just something about me that has a problem with individuals that end up cashing in when the team never seems to. It's not his fault, and I get that. And I'm not sitting there saying, oh, my Lord, he doesn't deserve the money. That's not what I'm saying. But when you are the $27 million man, largest annual salary in NFL history, damn, could you win a playoff game? I mean, I know you can't win by yourself, but when you're making that kind of money, figure it out. Figure it out, because Matthew Stafford has not ever won a playoff game. The Detroit Lions have not won a playoff game since 1991. And I don't like the fact that the highest paid player in NFL history in terms of his annual salary is associated with something other than winning. I just have a problem with it in that regard only.
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, look, Matthew Stafford is, as Louis Riddick pointed out, 29 years old. He's still young in the way quarterbacks age, entering his prime, really. He should be right in his prime right now. And you know who the highest paid of all time always is? The latest guy to hit the market in his prime at that position. That's always the highest paid guy. It's like when someone says it's the most money bet on a Super Bowl, or it's the highest grossing fight on pay-per-view, or it's the biggest real estate sale. Yeah, that doesn't mean it's actually the biggest in history. It means without adjusting for inflation, right, that this is the richest contract ever. That's how it goes. Now, you may not like that, and you also may not like the way that's reported at least, and you may not like the fact that he's not even the best player at his position in his division, right? Like, no one's confusing him with Aaron Rodgers, and he's now making more money than Aaron Rodgers because he's come up for his contract more recently. That's all it's about. In terms of him not winning a playoff game, I agree with that. Matthew Stafford, to me, if you would have checked in 5 years ago, you say, is Matthew Stafford going to be a top 5 quarterback? I would say of everyone in the league back then, you might tab him to join at the time Brady and Rodgers and Peyton Manning and Drew Brees, right? Maybe Roethlisberger, but maybe even ahead of Roethlisberger. In terms of his raw stuff, you might say that guy is going to be the next player to go from that middle-high tier to the elite tier. And though he puts up the numbers, I don't think people really consider him there yet. Now, is that a function of his inability to lead and make the whole greater than the sum of its parts? Or is that a function of the fact that he hasn't been on really good teams? Like if you put Matthew Stafford behind an offensive line like they have in Dallas or in Oakland with all those offensive weapons, maybe we'd think differently. If you put Matthew Stafford on Seattle, right, with like reliable receivers, not a great offensive line, but a great defense, maybe he makes now a playoff run. It's not really his fault that his team is only pretty good usually and not great.
He also hasn't had a real running back in a while, to your point, on top of that. And this guy, he is clutch, you guys. He's led more game-winning drives than anyone since 2011. I get that he's not the best player in the league in terms of where you're saying he deserves that type of money, Stephen A. But he is a legit...
Let me ask Stephen A.
He is a legit quarterback.
Stephen A., do you think he's a franchise quarterback or not?
People misquoting me, misrepresenting me. Did I sit up there and say he couldn't play? Did I say this man was bereft of talent?
This is what you did say, Stephen A. You said he doesn't win, and you said you don't think somebody should be the highest paid player in the league if they don't win. And what I'm saying to you is I just don't think it's the ultimate team sport, football. This guy has not had the team around him.
Okay. I love this, Molly. Hold on to that.
Okay.
Because I'm going to remember this when y'all say something about somebody else. Because last time I checked, it's always been a team game, but it doesn't stop y'all from pointing out individual liabilities from time to time. The man has not won a playoff game in his 8-year career.
That's right.